Kalista to shine.
Time to shine.
Yes, and once again, the game is now underway. This is GameX War Gods versus ASF Fate, Set 2 of Week 3, Day 3 of the Grenada Premier League 2015 season. And we see that both teams are making their way towards the middle of the map, seeing if we'll see any engages coming in, any early clashes coming in from both teams. No pings coming down from both sides. Looks like both teams will be opting for the safer strats, as both of the teams are just spanned across the river, ensuring that they see the enemy team, ensuring that no invades past underneath their noses.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to risk it since this game is really crucial.
Yes,
because
a lot is on stake.
Yeah, the second place in the Group A of GPL 2015, and if you get that second place, you're guaranteed a spot in the
stage 2. Yeah, stage 2 of the group stages of the Grenada Premier League. So we did see a little bit of poke coming in from both sides. Kalista actually started with that W and has binded herself onto Morgana. So walk me through this. Is this a good play or is this not?
I think at the start, I
guess the W is okay as you can scout with your
passive.
Yeah, with your tiny pets.
But is he? I think Kalista is changed by a bit. Kasi is it okay? Is it normal na to have that Oathsworn transferred to another champion? Is that a thing?
Well, I haven't really seen any Kalista myself, so it's actually really interesting to see how this pans out. And it looks like both junglers are starting pretty safe strats. We do see that the War Gods team is actually, the VYY and Stronger bot lane are taking for the golems, while we do see that on the ASF Fate team, they will just be having a normal leash, so VYY will be level 2 and will probably miss creep. So what's your thoughts on this strategy? Do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, I think it's worth it since Lucian is really strong with that level 2 because it would be additional aggression for him. Kasi diba, once he has that dash and that Q ability, so parang double proc yun ng passive niya. So we can just capitalize that, and knowing I'm not really sure about her capacity as an AD carry early on in the game. So yeah, I wanted to see how this matchup pans out.
Yeah, so we did see that the War Gods bot lane actually opted to share the XP, and I believe they missed only one CS coming in from that. However, they both have hit level 2 really quickly, and they are on the aggressive, and it looks like just a little bit of poke coming in from both sides. Meanwhile in the top lane, we see that Gnar really strong in that early game and bullying Irelia. However, they both have equal HP at the moment.
I think he's just abusing his being ranged champion early on.
I guess that's one of the problems with that range versus melee matchup.
You'd lose early on in the game because you get harassed.
However, we do see that Scatter the Weak Dark Spear combo did land onto Mochi. A bit of poke coming in from there. CS is pretty equal in that mid lane. We haven't really seen that much action coming from that mid lane.
And looks like a gank coming from Skill in the bot lane. I think he's just waiting for the right moment to go
however, Kalista, the W, like you said earlier, has been doing lots of work onto this War Gods bot lane. The Dark Passage, the hook, the Death Sentence will miss onto Stronger.
Yeah.
And really unfortunate. However, BYY half HP. Kalista just making advantage of that mobility coming in from her passive, just using that to poke BYY out with that rend.
Grabe, naabuso niya yung peeling ability ni Kalista with her just harassing Stronger. And also, mahihirapan lalo mag-hit si Stronger ng kanyang mga hooks with in coordination with Morgana's Black Shield as well as Kalista's peeling ability. Yeah.
So meanwhile, we did see some action in that top lane. Again, trading between JLC and Lolita. Yes, however, it is pretty even despite the trading. Like you said earlier, it is a pretty even matchup, I guess. And meanwhile, we do see that the jungler of ASF Fate did get caught out. Kha'Zix being forced to leap away. 3 members of there he was trying to counter jungle. However, 3 members were able to collapse onto him, and he will be forced to back away after that.
So they're trying to rotate and get the first blood right now because Stronger, a pretty aggressive play coming from GameX War Gods, and Lolita just diving into GameX War Gods JLC in the top lane.
And Lolita, the ranged versus melee matchup, I still feel like Gnar has a bit of an advantage coming in. However, Irelia does have a ways to get into your face and just like stun you. And then however, do you see a gank coming in from Skill? It looks like Skill will be trying to snowball this bot lane. Will Stronger land the Death Sentence this time. The Dark Passage does go on. Here comes the Black Shield. The Q will miss. Skill will be binded, taken down to half HP, and as a result will be forced to back away.
Wow, Slay just dealing so much damage right there in the bot lane, dropping Skill into less than a half of its HP, and he would be forced back.
And wow, with Skill, once again that spear will land onto Skill. However, he will be forced to back away. The Dark Passage Death Sentence does land onto Thresh. Here comes the Kalista mechanics, taking that first blood onto Skill with that leap. I guess Skill wasn't expecting that leap, plus the leap coming in from Slay, and as a result just got bursted with that spear into Rend auto attack. And here comes the Dark Binding, manages to go through all those minions and kills Stronger as a result. 2-0 coming in and that's 5 minutes. And with that, there's a 1.3 gold advantage coming in for Ace of Fate.
A really early gold advantage coming from Ace of Fate right there. And to boot, it was Kalista who got those 2 kills.
Kalista doing work.
Yeah, that's a big thing for Ace of Fate since their AD carry got 2 early kills. So, you know, that would mean Ace of Fate would have a better scaling in terms of the bot lane.
Yeah, and meanwhile we did see some trading coming in from that top lane. JLC and Lolita are getting pretty low. However, do you see Skill Flash uses his Q onto Lolita, takes the kill onto him, and meanwhile you see Ochi, here comes Unleash Power, gets that Ignite, and Ochi will fall to Jinky. And like we said earlier, the Syndra level 6 burst potential.
It's real.
Yes, that is indeed real. We just saw that right here firsthand.
So in terms of CS as well, Syndra, Jinky is leading by 21 CS against Ochi's Twisted Fate in the mid lane with only 29 CS. And we can feel the presence of Jinky early on in this game, and Ochi needs a lot of he needs to get back into this game, you know, make his presence felt with that TF pick and global map presence in order for him to, you know, capitalize on TF's ulti, which is the Destiny.
The Dark Spheres have been zoning out Oshi by quite a bit, and as a result it's been suffering. His CS has been suffering.
And we can also see that both AD carries coming from both teams have their BF swords right there, so quite equal in terms of damage output, I guess, more or less. But then we saw that what ASF Slay can do with that Kalista pick. Impressive early game prowess coming from him.
I guess it's also War Gods GameX hasn't really experienced the Kalista himself, and they're pretty surprised, I guess, themselves. We did see that Skill got chunked, underestimating the damage coming in from Slay. And here comes the Death Sentence, will miss onto Slay. And again, War God's bot lane forced to back away. However, the CS is still in favor of BYY.
Impressive mechanics coming from BYY. Oh.
Now here comes Gnar. Goes on to JLC. There are minions coming in for that Lolita side. JLC will be forced to half HP. However, the Lolita ultimate is expiring and he will back away as well.
So right now, it's now turning into the table of JLC in the top lane. Looks like it.
So, wow, here comes the Death Sentence onto the Morgana. Morgana will miss that Dark Binding a bit too late on the Black Shield. However, meanwhile on the top lane we do see that Ochi is here. JLC will get that kill. Ochi tanking that turret, and that will be a kill onto Lolita. So once again, Ochi getting that map presence needed.
So great communication coming from GameX War Gods right there. With that Ochi Destiny going in Destiny with Lolita and tanking that those turret attacks against so that JLC could survive.
Yeah, and with that, Lolita is actually 0-2 right now. Got ganked by Skill earlier and now got ganked by Ochi. Putting heavy focus onto JLC, I guess. And he has picked up that Sheen, so really good laning coming in.
So he would now deal a lot more damage than he used to before the Sheen.
Yeah, and this will actually help really well with the trading, seeing as Irelia can't really afford to just stand up and auto attack. So he's more of a burst. Like, you have to trade with Irelia in burst. And meanwhile, we do see some trading going in on that bot lane. The Dark Binding will miss. Slay just dancing around the War God's bot lane. However, despite that, Slay is still quite behind in CS. 4 CS behind. And here comes a gank coming in onto JLC. Here comes Mayo going in onto JLC. Wow. JLC is actually choosing to fight. That burst coming in from that Sheen crushes Mayo, and meanwhile Lolita is forced to back away here. Meanwhile, we do see in that mid lane the Dark Spear, Unleash Power will land onto Ochi. Ochi lives with a sliver HP. JLC in and Lolita duking it out. The Gnar will miss onto JLC. JLC uses that Q to barely escape, and here comes JLC turning it around. Lolita does throw that boulder onto JLC, gets that stun. Will he be able to get a kill?
Ooh.
And he does indeed, and he did have that Gnar bounce available as his Gnar was escaping. And meanwhile in that mid lane, we'd see a bit of trading coming in from Skill and Jinky. So lots of action.
Yeah, lots of action early on in this game. I think JLC was waiting for Lolita's passive Mega Gnar.
Yeah, he was just waiting for that to expire.
But then it didn't reach in time, and he wasn't able to, turn things around. Because if Lolita would transform back into the regular Gnar, I think JLC would win the trade.
Yes, however, meanwhile, in the meantime, we did see Skill got a bit caught out by Mayo and Jinky. Got that W, got that Vocal Spike onto got that Void Spike onto Skill, and Jinky was there to follow up with that damage, and as a result, another kill for that Aces Fate team.
So I think why the reason why VYY is still leading in terms of CS against the Slay by a bit is because Kallista's mechanics is quite difficult to master, right?
Yeah.
Because when she jumps around, may namimiss siyang time, may parang a few milliseconds to for the attack animation, so hindi siya nakaka-atake agad.
But the CS is a bit deceiving, coming in as Stronger has picked up the, I believe that is the brace, which does give CS whenever you kill a minion, and meanwhile we do see that Aces Fate is taking away that dragon, knowing that Skill has died and knowing that the War Gods bot lane has recalled, and this will be indeed the first dragon coming in for Aces Fate at the 11-minute mark.
Yeah, it's also free dragon since GameX War Gods had no idea that ASF was taking that dragon. They had no vision over that area.
Yes.
However, ASF has warded the place of the jungle, crucial spots, in order for them to take that dragon safely. So, smart warding coming from ASF.
And it's pretty hard to get that wards down, seeing as you're so far behind. Meanwhile, you see that JLC has ganked that mid lane. Jinky getting really low. Here comes Stronger, gets that death sentence onto Jinky, and Jinky will fall. That is 4 members of War Gods pushing down that mid lane, and they will probably get that mid lane turret.
Yeah.
Only Mayo is there to defend this push coming in from War Gods.
So I think that was a great move in order to mitigate the damage that the first dragon has dealt in the team of GameX War Gods.
So JLC pretty far ahead right now, 3-1-1. I guess he has this freedom, seeing as Lolita is just so far behind at the moment. However, meanwhile, you see that Lolita did teleport down in that bot lane. Here comes that Kalista ult, gets the Dark Binding onto VYY, and Lolita will be there with that boomerang to pick it up, and Stronger and Ochi will be forced to back away. So that Kalista ult, that was actually the first time I got to see that in action.
So
and it worked pretty well.
Nakita natin kung paano ginawang Pokemon ni Slay, si Akiyu.
Yeah.
At biglang nagulat si BYY doon at nahuli siya. So granting them a kill. And I think they would be taking down this bot lane first tier turret.
Yeah, however, it looks like they will be trading turrets, as we do see that JLC and Skill are in that top lane pushing that turret. Lolita is pretty far away, and they should be able to take this turret with ease, and that bottom lane turret of the War Gods team will fall to Slay.
Yeah, so I think things are still pretty even at this moment.
However, there is a 1.3 gold advantage in favor of Aces Fate. However, Stronger does need to be careful. He is caught out. The Dark Binding will miss, but here comes the Soul Shackles onto Stronger. Stronger will get fallen to the Mayo as he gets caught out in his own jungle.
So we can see an aggressive play coming from ASF, and they're really pushing toward the area, this jungle area of GameX War Gods. Get more map control because they had that first tier turret in the bot lane, and now they have that first tier turret in the mid lane.
Yes.
They have more map control, more freedom to roam, and get some more ganks to solidify their advantage right now.
So Aces Fate does have full control of that bot side of the map. Ward coverage wise, it's pretty deep. They've got a lot of deep wards coming into that War Gods jungle, and let's see how War Gods responds to that. While they are roughly 2k behind, it's only 14 minutes in, they still have a chance to come back.
Yeah.
And JLC is currently 3-1-1 right now, so really strong, has picked up that Triforce, will be doing a lot of damage in these upcoming team fights, as it looks like that the War Gods team is rotating towards that mid lane, hungry for another kill.
Slay has, it's notable that Slay has that Infinity Edge right now, and VYY almost completing his, but then it's now leaning towards to Slay because he has that early 201, and we can see an engage, maybe possible engage.
Yeah, and also it's also that global gold coming in with those turrets that's enabled Slay to pick up those Infinity Edges. The death sentence will miss onto Morgana, and they will just back away. Meanwhile, we did see that JLC actually solo killed Mayo in that jungle. Mayo was farming those raids, and JLC did manage to get that kill onto him.
Yeah, I think he's fully capable to do so because right now Irelia has that Triforce, which amplifies his damage greatly. So I think he can now outduel anyone in the side of ASF.
Yeah, Mayo doesn't really have that many items at the moment. Just has the enchantment for his jungle item as well as that mobility boots. So not really the core items yet coming in for Mayo, and just got wrecked by JLC in that 1v1 duel.
Yeah, and we can also see that War Gods trying to play some wards over the area of ASF, but I think it just expired. But then they're trying to even out the playing field by placing some wards over there deep into their jungle, just like the way that ASF did with their wards into their jungle.
Yes, however, we do see that in the bot lane, they have gone back to trading. Skill is been hovering around that bot side of the map, and we do see that Mayo has walked his way towards the bot side of the map as well. This might be a 3v3 fight, 4v4 actually, if we consider the teleports. However, both teleports are gone. Stronger gets caught out by that W by that Wraith. However, he will be able to just walk away from that. However, BYY does need to be careful. Here comes the Dark Fighting, lands onto BYY. The Black Shield goes on to Mayo, ensuring that nothing happens. Here comes OG with that teleport. Destiny comes in, goes on to Morgana, and we do see meanwhile Skill going on to Mayo, just fights all over the place. Stronger is the target now. We do see that OG has switched on Slay, just free hitting onto OG and onto Stronger. Here comes the Morgana ult, disengaging. However, Skill is there to clean it up, and JLC with that teleport just in the nick of time, cleaning up the kill, and now it's 8-8, and the score's tied up 100 gold only in favor of Ace's Fate.
So that was a great team fight coming from Green X War Gods. Great response time coming from Ochi, as well as the teleport coming from JLC, dealing so much damage with that Irelia and that Twisted Fate. And they would also be taking down the first tier turret in the bot lane, so that would be a double whammy in the part of ASF, losing that team fight and losing also that turret.
Yeah, and for the first time, War Gods is now ahead in gold, and JLC is 1-5-2, doing a lot of work. That teleport was pretty clutch.
Yeah, actually, it was great. It was a great teleport coming from JLC, and also great plays coming from Skill with that Dragon Rage as well as Sonic Waves, on point Sonic Waves to Slay as well as Miyu, granting them better positioning. And yeah, taking that team fight basically.
Yeah, and Ochi's teleports, Destinies have been pretty on point. He is 1-5 at the moment, despite having a little bit of trouble in that lane. Currently 50 CS behind, he has still been able to put a pretty strong impact on this game.
And now we can see that the Dragon is live.
And War Gods just doesn't care. They're not even trying to contest the Dragon at this point. Instead, they're opting to push that mid lane, force Ace's Fate to clash onto them. And now that they've pulled Ace's Fate out, they can set up for this Dragon properly. Meanwhile, we do see that JLC is pushing in that top lane. No response actually coming in from the Ace's Fate team, and we do see that the 4 members of War Gods are pushing up with them as well.
So that would be a second Dragon for ASF. However, GameX War Gods balance equals out the battlefield by taking down the second tier turret of ASF, and looks like they're trying to take down the inhibitor turret. And yeah, they're just trying.
This will be the inhibitor. Wow. So really good rotation coming in. Here comes JLC with the engage, gets a stun onto Jinky. However, here comes the unleash power onto JLC. Here comes a snipe by Slay, lands that spear, and War Gods will be able to back away. That was a 1-for-1. However, I feel that trade was in favor of War Gods.
Yeah, definitely. They have taken down the inhibitor turret, and that would be to their advantage because now ASF needs to look at their top lane whenever they decide to engage in a team fight.
Yes, however, here comes Morgana. He's hungry for the kills. Here comes the Kalista ultimate. Will he get the stun onto BYY? Gets that stun. Where's the Dark Binding? There's the Soul Shackles. There we go. Here comes Lolita. Lolita does not have the Mega Gnar available. Meanwhile, we did see that Thresh Stronger try to get that peel on with that Death Sentence. Here comes the box trying to slow down the tracks of the ASF team, and Mayo will be able to pick up Stronger. Stronger doing his best to defend the rest of his team from the onslaught of that ASF Ace's Fate team with that follow-up, and he suffered. He costed his life.
Yeah, but then I think it was a good sacrifice.
Yeah, that was a good sacrifice.
Yeah. Since if Stronger didn't do that, GameX War Gods team members would be caught up by the ASF members.
Yes, and
yeah, it prevented more bloodshed in the part of GameX War Gods.
Yeah, so War Gods coming out on top with that trade, taking those 2 turrets for that 1 dragon for that Ace's Fate team.
Yeah.
However, Ace's Fate does have that second dragon buff, which will provide a bit of pushing power as they'll be able to clear creeps faster and get the gold faster.
Yeah. So, in order for GameX War Gods to capitalize on that top lane inhibitor turret taken, I think they should try to go down and get more dragons, start to get dragons, and also try to push down the bot lane to amplify the effects of that top lane inhibitor turret taken down.
Yes, and we do see that War Gods has the upper foot at the moment. However, the warding is still in favor of Ace of Spades, I'd say, and it looks like we're just waiting now for the War Gods' next move. What will they decide to do next? Will they decide to go for that 5-man push atop? However, we do see that JLC has gone back to the top lane, looking again to go for that splash push. Has his teleport up in roughly 40 seconds. Lolita also has his teleport up at the moment, so doing his best to defend against JLC. However, at this point, JLC has picked up that Giant's Belt, has picked up that Chain Vest, and it's looking pretty tanky and scary at the moment. However, Skill trying to get that counter jungle onto that red buff, and will they be able to get that steal? And I believe that was unsuccessful as Mail gets that smite and takes away that red buff. Here comes the Scatter the Weak combo. Here comes the Q onto that Jinky. Jinky will be forced to flash away, gets that Dragon Rage onto Jinky anyways and gets that kill. And Skill, despite being under focus fire by the turret, by Kalista, by Jinky, will still manage to live with a sliver of health, and War Gods are capitalizing on this, taking that turret.
That was a great play coming from GameX War Gods, and they were able to take down Jinky, who was the primary AP damage dealer of ASF. And now they're looking down to take down this turret, as we have said earlier, capitalizing on that top lane inhibitor turret gone. And they're just trying to take more objectives, to lean the favor in their part.
Yeah, so that, again, really aggressive by JLC. JLC has actually been the ones forcing the fights, right? So, and he's been doing a really good job of it, as every time he's done that, War Gods has come out on top.
Yeah. They're just abusing Aurelia's capacity to, provoke team fights and engage in those team fights. So, yeah, they're trying to back, and I think ASF is trying to place on some defensive wards in their jungle, because I think they know that most of the fights right now would be happening in their jungle, knowing that GameX War Gods has that top lane inhibitor turret advantage.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not really no one to deal with JLC at the moment. They don't really have that many ways to deal with it, aside from Syndra getting that burst onto it. But is it really worth using all of your bursts to kill JLC when you're just leaving Ochi and BYY scot-free?
Yeah, exactly. And we can see, I think they're trying to converge again in the mid lane. I think they're trying to pressure, because the creep waves is almost near the inhibitor, and they would try to pressure down other lanes to, get the creeps closer to that inhibitor, to take that down and gain an increased advantage against it.
So we do see that War Gods is warding up right now, trying to de-ward as well, trying to establish full map control of the map to ensure that they can further perpetuate this lead they have. Currently 2k gold in favor of War Gods, 10-10 is the score, and Dragon is up in a minute, so we should be seeing War Gods trying to contest. Ace of Spades is pushing down 5-man towards that mid lane, seeing what they can get out of this.
So we can see JLC still in the top lane, still trying to pressure down.
He does have
ASF.
teleport.
Yeah, he does have teleport, so he knows that he can. He has a global presence.
And at this point, I don't think there's anyone that can actually 1v1 JLC effectively. No one can 1v1 JLC, and it's actually a really good rotation coming in from the War Gods team. They're running a 1-3-1 at the moment. VYY is pushing that bot lane, capitalizing on the fact that JLC is such a terror. Here comes the teleport coming in. Kalista did get caught. Slay will get caught by that Dark Death Sentence and the TF. TF managing to pick it up. Ochi gets that kill with the red card flash and stack deck, and that will be a Dragon, as Dragon is up in 15 seconds. It looks like meanwhile BOI is pushing that bot lane, and Stronger trying to get that hook onto Jinky or onto Mail, trying to see if they can push this lead even further.
So now we saw that
here comes some more action coming in. The Ignite goes on. Here comes Smite. Mail smites BYY. Meanwhile, we do see that JLC and Stronger are in the back line, chasing down onto Slay. Will Jinky be able to escape? Here comes the Scatter. The Unleashed Power goes on to Skill, and Skill will fall. However, Jinky will fall as well, and Mayo will be able to just hop away. However, this is a free Dragon coming in for War Gods, and this fight was in favor of War Gods. 2 for 1, 4k gold advantage. JLC really tanky, full HP, has his Randuin's Omen and that Chain Vest, and they're opting to not take that Dragon, knowing that Skill is still down while Mayo is up. Here comes the Death Sentence onto Lolita. Lolita is pretty tanky, and they will opt to back away. You see that Akko is trying to get that. Here comes the Kalista ult, lands on the Stronger. Here comes the burst from Lolita. Still on the hunt, trying to get that slow onto JLC. However, they will back away and up to take that Dragon instead. And this will probably be a third dragon for this Ace of Spades team. JLC going in hungry, takes Mayo down, and he's just tanking up the entire team, gets 2 kills. Will he be able to survive? If he does, this will be amazing. Lolita does the flash ult, gets the stun onto JLC, and JLC will die. However, he will be able to take 2 down with him.
Wow, I mean, impressive JLC plays coming down there, getting 2 kills against the ASF, but he wasn't able to steal that dragon,
Yeah,
but it was still impressive.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Skill going a bit too aggressive on here. We do see that Slay is getting that free hit damage. VRY doing a little bit of damage on his own. Ochi was there on the sideline with that yellow card ready in hand, getting ready to stun up that whoever tried to contest them.
So makikita talaga natin yung presence ni Slay dun.
Yes.
Napakaganda ng peeling ability ni Kalista. And Slay showing us how masterful he is with that Kalista pick.
Yes, however, despite the kiting and peeling, it still wasn't enough to save his teammates from that JLC pick.
The wrath of JLC.
Yes, and after that, JLC has actually picked up the Hex Drinker, which will provide a bit more durability against that Jinky. Like we said earlier, Jinky is the only one that can really deal with JLC with that Unleashed Power ultimate, and picking up that Hex Drinker is a counter to that, so
yeah,
really smart pick coming in from JLC.
Yeah, having that Mercury Tread as well as a Hex Drinker and possibly eventually a Maw of Malmortius, it would definitely significantly cut down the damage ASF Jinky would be dealing to him. So I think JLC would now be the least priority in terms of Jinky using his ultimate. You know, he would prioritize more on getting Ochi or VOY, but knowing Ochi has that Zhonya's Hourglass, I think it would be more of VOY as a primary target.
Yeah, so Morgoth is 3k ahead, however Ace of Spades has picked up 3 dragons. So who do you think is winning the game and who do you think will win the game from this point?
From this point, I think ASF has advantage.
Yes.
But because of those 3 dragons, okay.
And here comes the ult, the bind will land on the Stronger. Here comes Mayo going aggressive onto VYY. Lolita is full HP, does have that Gnarl readily available. Here comes Morgana, Kalista ult will land onto JLC. Here comes the Soul Shackles coming in. Meanwhile, Ace of Spades is forced to back away, however, as a response, they will be caught out. We did see that Morgana was caught out, and we do see that Ochi is still on the hunt. Ace of Spades has pretty low HP right now. It goes aggressive onto Ochi, and Ochi will be able to get a kill, however, will die as well. And we do see that VYY will 1v1 Lolita, however, Lolita will come ahead from that trade. And JLC, meanwhile, is on the hunt, trying to kill Slay. Slay does have the rend and that mobility available. And that was a 3-for-3. Or was that? No, that was a 4-for-3 in favor of Ace of Spades.
It was actually 3-for-3.
No, because Stronger died earlier,
oh, yeah,
so that was a 4-for-3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I guess, really good pick coming in from Ace of Spades, I guess.
Yeah.
That pick onto Stronger was really clutch.
Also with Ochi in the Dragon Pits right there, and Mio just jumping in and getting that kill. I think it was a misplay coming from Ochi.
Yeah, meanwhile we do see that JLC is on the aggressive, hunting down that Akio. He will be forced to back away as Slay is now there. Here comes the box, disengaging the team, Ace of Spades team from that War God side, and both teams will just back away.
So we can see that GameX War God's trying to ping down the red buff of ASF. I think they're trying to ward that area. And yeah, I mean, there's a huge creep wave coming up at the top lane, and Lolita trying to farm that to, you know, lessen the pressure in the top lane. And we can see that GameX War Gods is trying to rotate.
Trying to go for that pick. I think this is the correct play, right? Yeah. Red buff has spawned, so they are waiting in that bush, knowing that one of them will eventually try to get that red buff, and seeing if they can get that pick. However, Ace of Spades seems to know what's up, and has just simply decided to just push mid lane and just walk away.
Yeah, so you can see them trying to de-ward their jungle and get rid of the wards. Here
comes the face check, gets the gold card onto Akiho, and he will die. Tons of bursts coming in from Ochi, and the death sentence coming in from Stronger, and this will be a 4v5. Looks like Wargods is trying to capitalize on this by pushing towards that top lane, trying to get that inhibitor. We do see that all ultimates are available for that Ace of Spades team. However, Morgana is not there, so Kalista will not be able to use her ultimate.
Yeah, it would significantly cut down the CC that ASF would be bringing into the battle.
Yeah, and this inhibitor will be surely falling soon, as we do see that Jinky was not able to get the Scatter the Weak Dark Sphere combo onto them, trying to initiate a team fight. And Wargods will be able to walk away, trying to go for another pick actually, knowing that Ace of Spades doesn't really have that strong ward coverage coming in.
And we can see that they're trying to back actually. And Dragons almost up 1 minute into the timer, and I'm excited to see whether GameX War Gods would be able to counteract and get the dragon.
Yes, however, hold that thought. We did see that VRY got a bit caught out there. However, none of the skill shots landed from the Asus P18, and he was able to, I believe, flash away. Yes.
Yeah.
However, here comes Asus Fate with the great response coming in for that mid lane. 5-man push onto mid lane, knowing that War Gods has used all their ultimates, is pretty low, has not backed yet. And Stronger getting picked out once again. He will get bursted with that damage coming in from Kalista, Gnar, and Syndra, and they will be going on for that inhibitor turret. JLC is in the backline, has got picked out. Unleashed power will land onto JLC. Not enough damage coming in. Mayo taking down to half HP with that Oshi damage. Here comes the Kalista ult. It looks like it's going on to JLC. JLC is half HP now. Here comes the Gnar ult. Only lands on the skill. However, this will be enough skill. Will be able to flash away. And meanwhile, we did see that Oshi was able to pick off Jinky, and here comes Lolita. His ultimate actually expired right as he jumps in, and he will get picked off again. Mayo will get low as well. Will he be able to escape? VOY is on the hunt. However, he does have that leaf available. Meanwhile, great rotation coming in from JLC. Uses that teleport onto that inhibitor-less push lane. Here comes Slay coming in, trying to get that kill onto Ochi. Will be able to do so. Stronger, not enough, and this might be the game for War Gods. That's JLC. Great teleport coming in, taking down those Nexus turrets. Morgana's up in 1 second. Here comes Jinky in 10 seconds. I believe he might be able to take that turret before falling. Exhaust will go down onto JLC, slowing down his push. JLC doesn't care. He's just pushing that turret. And it looks like he will indeed be able to get this turret. And he will actually walk away with his life. And meanwhile, we did see that War Gods were able to take this dragon, stopping Asus Fate from taking that 4th dragon of the game.
That was an insane play coming from GameX War Gods, man.
Yeah, that JLC has just been really strong. Really great decision making coming in from him. All of the engagements he's done really good.
Ang ganda ng presence niya,
Yeah.
no? Pagka nung nalaman niya na nakita niya na lamang sila dun sa team fight and medyo scattered na yung ASF and most of their members dropped down, he just teleported up in the top lane and he just took down 2 Nexus turrets and a dragon for GameX War
And
Gods.
what's that? It's 4K gold advantage. Well, we know one thing for sure. Irelia is probably gonna be banned next game. I doubt they want to give JFC Irelia once again.
Yeah, I mean, seeing how he played this game, man, it's gonna be a respect ban for
It
Irelia.
looks like both teams are setting up for that Baron.
Yeah.
Wards are going down by both sides. The warding as well coming out from both sides. Slay trying to take those Raptors, and will Morga start the Baron? They will start the Baron knowing that they do have to defend the base soon. There is a huge wave in that bot side. Mayo will be able to pick that up, and we do see that this will be a free Baron for that War Gods team. And yes, indeed. So with that, they will be able to push even better. Inhibitor is respawning soon in the top side. Looks like War Gods will be trying to take that Inhibitor again.
Well, they're splitting up. So 3-man. Oh, I think they're grouping up in the top lane because the inhibitors now trying almost respawning. So they can take that down and continue the advantage that they have, knowing that ASF has no more Nexus turrets to defend their Nexus.
Yeah, Ochi does have that red card locked in. Does actually a lot of damage towards Akihiro, even though having that black shield. Here comes the engage coming from Stronger. Leaps comes out from Mayo. Here comes the Soul Shackles coming in. JLC is actually taking down really low. All of the damage is being focused onto JLC. However, meanwhile, this has that DYY to just free hit. Great scatter of the week coming in from Jinky. Gets 4 members knocked up. However, BYY is there to sweep. That is the three members are left on that War Gods team. However, they are relatively low. The death sentence will miss onto Jinky, and now it's just 3v1. However, the War Gods members are really low, and they will be using their Baron enhanced recall to walk away.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great team fight coming from both teams. For ASF, they immediately take down JLC because he was out positioned because Lolita got caught up in between the GameX War Gods members, and he was able to use his ulti. However, VYY flashed out to cancel out the effects of that, and they were able to take down Lolita. However, JLC also was taken down, so that would definitely decrease the damage capacity of GameX War Gods. So great team fights coming from both teams.
So yeah, this is the problem. Even though you focus JLC, there's just so much damage coming in from the rest of the team.
Yeah.
From Ochi. Ochi actually, we saw earlier that his gold cards hurt a lot. He almost half HP'd Akiho, even though he had the black shield on him. So yeah. And it looks like War Gods just sticking with the strategy that they know best, just waiting in that bush, waiting for someone to face check their buff and just kill them.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, there. We can see that Akiho almost going in there, getting caught. However, he spots out GameX Wargods members
with
in that
that
push. And yeah, I mean, there's ASF's inhibitor just responds, so you know that would mitigate at least some of the advantage coming from GameX Wargods. But then, it's still they still doesn't have those two Nexus turrets, so huge advantage coming from GameX.
So something I've noticed that a lot of the burst seems to be going on to Stronger during the fights. Stronger is usually the one to get killed first.
Yeah.
However, as a result, a lot of the damage is lost onto the other priority targets from that Wargods team.
Yeah.
And we do see that Wargods is once again pushing that inhibitor. I don't think there's much that Ace's Fate can do. Meanwhile, we do see that Ochi is pushing that bot side 4-0-1 push coming in from that Wargods team, seeing as Ochi does have that destiny to respond to anything that Ace's Fate tries to do. And we did see that Lolita was there to try to defend that push from Ochi. However, Ochi will just simply be able to just push this turret, seeing as he does have that Lich Bane and quite a lot of AP, so
and
he should be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, he can just clear those waves, and however, Nar doesn't have that enough skills to eliminate those creep waves fast enough so that he could prevent the push coming from Ochi. But we can see that GameX Wargods trying to back down here, not taking down this turret because I think they deemed it to be too risky right now.
Looks like they're instead opting for a 5-man push in mid lane.
Yeah, I guess. Or maybe take down that Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon is up in a minute, so this will be the second Dragon coming in for that Wargods team.
And we can also see that they are ahead by 6k in gold.
Yeah, so Wargods turning it around. It used to be a 6k, almost a 6k gold advantage for Ace's Fate. However, JLC was able to turn it around. Will the death sentence land? It will not. And Akiho will be there with that black shield to defend if it does indeed land. And Ochi on that sideline trying to get the gold card on. However, will opt for that red card just to clear that wave.
I think they're just trying to.
Oh, whoa! JLC does need to be careful. Does get caught out. Will he be able to use that lantern? JLC is caught out. No, he will actually live. Everything's going down onto him. However, Slay will be there to take him out, and he survived for a really long time. For a second, I thought he was gonna live all of that.
Actually, but then they were still able to get him.
Yeah. However, despite that, Ochi was able to. DIY was actually able to take that turret on the bot lane.
Yeah.
And as a result, we do see that Ace's Fate is pushing that mid lane, pinging towards that inhibitor. Dragon is up in 10 seconds. Here comes Wargods with the recalls, trying to stop the push, trying to prevent this inhibitor from going down. Slay is 737 right now, has picked up the last Whisper has picked up the QSS, so he will be ready for anything that Stronger does. And here comes the pick, and here comes another pick. OG forced to use his Hourglass. There's no JLC. JLC is up in 7 seconds. Here comes Nar with the bounce. Nar has the GA available, and BRY doing his best to escape from this. The stun will miss. However, here comes the ult. However, he does need to back away as JLC has spawned and skill is there to back him up. BRY and the Wargods team is still on the hunt. And here comes the teleport once again. Coming in from JLC, knowing that the rest of the Ace's Fate team has died.
And he's there. He's trying to take down the inhibitor.
Looks like he's going for 2 inhibitors. No, actually, he might go for the game.
Yeah, I think he'd go for the game, but I don't think he'd be able to do so because Jinky is about to respond in 11 seconds, and they're still trying to chase down Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita Nar. He finally procs that GA. However, it's probably yeah, they will be able to pick up Lolita despite that GA. Lolita had nowhere to run, and with that, there should be another Dragon coming in for Wargods as pings are going down, and they were able to pick up that inhibitor in that bot side.
Great response coming from JLC with this teleport, and taking down another inhibitor. JLC has been using that teleport in a
really effectively. Not just from the split pushing, he's actually been using it really good to respond to the ganks coming in.
Yeah, actually.
And that was actually a pretty good effort coming in from Ace's Fate. The burst coming in is just really good. And here comes Stronger, gets caught once again. Mayo just doing it again. Ace's Fate just keeps on doing this. Here comes the Dark Passage. Here comes all of the ults coming down onto that Wargods team. Slay just kiting out the JLC and kites out. And they will go for that skill hunt. Skill will get smited and he will get slowed, and Mayo will be able to clean this up. So this has been a pretty common reoccurrence in this game.
Yeah, I mean,
someone gets caught out by the bind or by the scatter of the week, and then the rest of them just dive onto them.
Yeah, and
it's working out. This 4 kills actually. Ace's Fate might be able to turn this around. There's 30 seconds. No, 30 seconds, yeah, coming out on the majority of the team. Looks like they will be able to get this. They're looking to end the game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go for it. And they can, because it's just Ochi in there trying to defend their base. And I don't think he can do much with the five-man ASF Fate going for their base.
Yeah, Stronger puts the box down, however, Mayo dives in onto Ochi. Stronger will be able to take... Stronger will fall to Slay, and looks like this game will actually go towards Ace's Fate as they are knocking down towards that Nexus. Slay doing so much damage and it's not enough. The game goes to War Gods. GG, well played. The game goes to Ace's Fate.
Wow.
Good attempt by War Gods. GG, well played.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Yeah,
great plays coming.
That
from
was a
both
huge
teams.
turnaround, and you can see at the end of the game,
Yeah.
Ace's Fate was still down by 4k, but they still managed to turn it around. JLC got a bit too cocky once again.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think it was because of Stronger.
Yeah, Stronger also got caught out.
Yeah,
and that just snowballed it.
yeah. I mean,
Well, it's not really caught out. It's more like Ace's Fate enabled that as well. Seeing as they just have a really strong comp that just is revolving around picking it up.
Taking advantage.
Now we saw that Kozik just leaping in and just doing a lot of damage towards that team.
Yeah, and it was just really capitalizing on the mistakes that GameX War Gods had made in the latter part of the game, catching Ochi and catching Stronger and JLC in the mid lane and in the bot lane, which they paid the price by losing this game. And you know, Ace's Fate just turning it around. But then good plays coming from both teams. We saw that they exchanged leads in some part of the game, and
this is probably really devastating for that War Gods team. Just they recovered from a deficit and had the advantage for quite a long period of time, and just managed to lose it by just one mistake.
Yeah.
And coming to game 2, this is actually really detrimental to their mental, as this is a really important game. Whoever gets this game, whoever 2-0s will go on to that next stage, and that's 1 point for Ace's Fate. And if they're able to win the next game, they're going on, and War Gods will be forced to back.
Yeah, so we'll see how War Gods deals with these.
Yes, we will see how they will deal with this in the second game. There are more games coming up with that second game, like we said earlier. Once again, this has been GS Neep along with
GS Kairu,
and you are watching the Garena Premier League 2015 spring season, and we will see you after this break.
Don't go away.